Hello everyone, want to give you all an update on the truck. I was planning on diagnosing the transmission today because it is a beautiful day, but the transmission had other plans. There was in the line pressure port where I needed to screw in my gauge, whoever worked on this transmission before me put in a screw-in Allen key plug when it's supposed to have, I think it's a 7/16 or a 3/8 hex head plug, and the Allen key portion was stripped out, so I was not able to get it out, and I wasn't able to get with vice grips with the hole being stripped out. I figured I needed to try to use a screw extractor, and I didn't have any, so I got those coming in the mail. Just waiting on them. I know I could get them locally, but I didn't have the money for that, and I was able to get it online through other means. But I got those coming. I will hopefully try to diagnose the transmission again in about a week or two. But I do have another project coming up that I thought I'd show y'all, and it's on the tailgate. Let's go take a look at it. This is the power steering pump that was on my Charger originally when it had the 383 in it, and it wasn't working. At the time I sent it in to a professional return rebuild service, and they said it wasn't rebuildable. I figured they just couldn't find parts, so I held on to it and figured I'd mess with it someday, and decided to take it apart and realized that the control valve in it was messed up. I've already had this all the way disassembled, and I just put it back together just so I wouldn't lose any parts. But this is a TRW or Thompson power steering pump. The other two types that could be on these classic Mopars is Federal and Saginaw. The one I have on the Charger right now is a Saginaw style, and this is the TRW style that I would like to put back on because I like the round back. I like the way that I just like the round canister versus what's actually on the Charger. But the control valve had not been taken care of. Someone else had been in this thing before and messed up some of the pieces inside, and I was able to get everything straight. And I believe I got the control valve working like it's actually supposed to, so it might actually work like it is. But I need to get a couple of O-rings. I need to get the case to pump seal, and there's one more inside. This thing does not have a lot of O-rings or replaceable wear parts in here, which is very fascinating. But once I get those O-rings, I will have a rebuild video on this thing. So y'all watch out for that in the future. And I will also be, when I do get around to rebuilding this, I will be sandblasting and painting the pulley and the canister so they're all nice and pretty and shiny black. Did want to say one more thing. The reason why the shaft and the end of this looks like this is because I have a metal protect spray that I sprayed on it so I wouldn't get any flash rust on the shaft. So that's why that looks like that. Now let's go over to the Charger and I'll show you what the Saginaw pump looks like. Alright, here we are at the Charger. And you can see there is the Saginaw style and there is the Federal style. No, Federal. This is the Thompson or TRW style. That works fine. And it really wouldn't matter either way, but I have a suspicion that this TRW pump is actually original to this car. I don't have any evidence to support that, but this TRW Thompson pump, from my research, is appropriate for this year Charger. So I have a suspicion that this might be the original pump for this car. But I wouldn't be able to prove that, but it would at least be period correct or era correct for this car, and I think would look a lot better than that Saginaw style But yeah, there's the two different styles that I have. There's the Saginaw and the TRW. Well, there it is. There's my update. Like I said, I was hoping to be able to have the transmission diagnosed, or at least have my pressures written down, because I had written down notes from my transmission manual and everything. So I'm gonna just keep my notes, and from when I can get those screw extractors in, and hopefully be able to get that stripped out plug and replace it with an extra one that I have that's actually appropriate and will be a lot easier to take off. But there it is. There's my update. Sorry it's not more. I wanted to have the transmission diagnosed right now, but it had other plans. But I'll see y'all later.